everyone, welcome back to Stonemagpie. So today I am kitting down from Libra and kitting up with my new picture Crystal of Enchantment. So at the moment I've got both lists out. I've got my old kitting up and my new diamonds. So the first step in changing over is to look at the old list compared to the new. Now, you may have seen in my kitting up video for the Libra that I suggest you photocopy the list of numbers so that you can keep the original one nice and clean in case you want to use it for something else. So I've done that. I've taken a photocopy and I've got my original Libra list. So my first step, I'll push these out of the way, is to look at both lists and to indicate which numbers are not in the new list. So for example, I can already see that 151 is not included in the new kit. So I'm just going to circle that in red pen. And I'm going to go down the whole list and circle any numbers that are not included. So I know that I'm going to take those out of my storage boxes. So as I go down, I'm going to, so 155 is not in. I'm just, as I say, circling numbers that are not included. At this point, I'm going to ignore any new numbers so that I don't get confused as I go along. And we'll look at the new numbers a bit later. So I'll continue doing this and I'll join you in a moment. Hi, okay, so I've been through the list and it has been quite surprising. I've circled every colour that is not included in the new listings. I even went a little bit wrong and circled one that is, so I've had to write myself a note to ignore that circle. I was getting a little bit gung-ho. But what surprised me was this kit has 250 colours in and my new kit has 230. So I was expecting probably about between 20 and 30 different colours, you know, like to exchange. However, going through the list, and I've done it per column, did all the adding up at the end. The first page already has 30 changes. Then the second page, again, went all the way through. Quite a lot here that are not included in the new kit. So the second page has 34 changes and the third page has 9. So I've tallied them up here. There's 73 colours in this kit that isn't used in the new kit. So I was quite surprised that there were so many. So the next stage now is for me to remove all of these colours from my storage containers. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do now. Now, they're not in number order because if you remember from my first kitting up video, I've used items so they're each in a different itemised container. So when I look at the first one, which is 151, that is in the arrows box. So all I'll go to now is my arrows box and take out that tic-tac box. Which one is it? Let me have a look. There we go. And then I'll put it aside, ready to remove my diamonds back into the original baggies that I got, which are numbered. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with those when I get to that point. So if you don't mind, leave me to it. It might take me a little while to go through all of these numbers and pull them all out. And I'll join you once I'm at that stage. I've now pulled all of the colours out of the storage for the first page. And as I was doing that, I thought, because I've got these types of storage containers, not all of those are going to be kitted down. So what I've decided to do is do the first page only, replace any of these that are remaining, and then continue on to the second page. So I've got all my little baggies that I got from the kit. I'm going to search through for the numbers and then I will be popping the leftovers back into the baggies to store. So that's my next step. and I'll join you once I've started that. Okay, so I've kitted down the first page of the numbers into their corresponding bags, removed the stickers from the little boxes and put them on there. Thought that might be useful to have the symbols as well. To be honest, it's been a right pain. I'm going to be honest, because I've got a bag full of bags, obviously with 250 colours equals 250 bags. And when I did my kitting up, I didn't really keep them in any sort of order. So I've got all of these bags to go through to sort out what numbers I need to bring out. And it's taking quite a bit of time. I've got these bags now here that I looked through because they're all the page number 1 bags. So I've separated those off, but I've still got a whole load of bags to go through. So I'm going to take a little bit of time to think what the best way is going forward with kitting down and kitting up again. So I'm going to get my thinking cap on and let's see if I can come up with a better solution to this for all of us. Okay, so I've had a think, and while I was thinking, I remembered about a discussion that I was part of on one of the Diamond Painting Facebook groups, and we were discussing storage ideas, and somebody mentioned that they used the trading card files to store their baggies of diamonds in. So I've ordered a file, it's not arrived yet, so what I'll do, I will continue and show you that at the end of this video. In the meantime, I have put aside page 1 leftovers, and I've sorted all of the baggies into numerical order just to try and make life a little bit easier as we go to page 2. Right, I feel a lot happier now that all my bags are in numerical order. I'm going to now move on to page number 2, and as you can see I've got quite a lot here circled, so I'm going to remove all of these from the storage containers, find the corresponding bags and pop them in. So I'll join you in a moment. Okay, so I've now pulled all of the containers that have the numbers I'm not using on page 2. Really does help having these in number order. So I'm looking down my list here and I'm looking for 794. So this one can be put aside for now. And we take 794, which is, there's quite a few of these types of containers this time. So let me get my tray. And all I'm doing is taking those out, popping them back into their baggies, getting as much air out as I can so that they're flat for the file, and then removing the sticker and popping the sticker on the bag. A good press down, so this one is ready to file. Put that one aside, and then I move on to the next number, which is 796. Remove those, get the bag. As you can see, some of these bags still have their tumble dryer sheets in, the ones that were quite static, and you know, I think I'll just leave those in there. I'm not going to put them in every bag, but the ones that already have them in, I'll just leave them in. Remove the sticker, stick it on. And pop that aside. So this is a lot quicker than the first time I did it, believe you me. Yeah, I think this system works well, and I look forward to being able to show you the file at the end of the kitting down so that you can see what I've done with the extra bags. So I will continue now with page number 2 and I'll see you soon. Okay, so now I've kitted down all 3 pages and sorted them out. So I've got page 1 here, page 2, and page 3, ready for when my file arrives. So I can't do anything more with that at the moment. So my next stage is to go on to compare the two lists. So as you can see in my storage, I've now got a lot of gaps. So I am going to look at the lists and mark which new colours I have to itemise, and I'm hoping that they fit into my categories because that's going to be the next challenge, isn't it, of course. So I'm going to go through and just see which ones I've not seen before. So I'm just going to double check as I go down. I think I'm going to be able to spot ones I haven't seen, but I do want to double check as I'm going along. Okay, so I've gone along and marked each page with the new symbols that I've got. So now I'm going to pop them into an item that I already have. So tech, line, arrow, bodies. So I'm going to do, how am I going to do this next? I think I might put a little tally chart. I like my tally charts, don't I? Just to see how many new things I have got before I start adding them in. Right, I think that's all the categories it'll be. I can always add them on. So now I'm just going to go down my lists and go like this as a tally. Okay, so there you can see now I've done my tally and I've done my adding up to see how many spaces are in each one. So now we'll start with tech. Where's my tech box? And it's saying I'm hoping for 6 spaces. Well, this box doesn't have that many empty ones. I've got 1, 2, 3 tech. So I'm going to make a note of that and probably change some of those to item if I've got space. Okay, let's see what happens next with lines. 5 spaces in my lines box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that will be good. I can do that. Arrows, right. Yep, have a look in this one. So I need 9 arrows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can do that. Body. I need 2. And I can use those 2 there, so that's fine. The U shape, I need 1 and I've got 3, so that's fine. Item 7, okay, that's back to this box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now if I want another 3, I could get another 3 in there, so that could go to item plus 3 equals 10. I just need to choose which ones might end up in item for that. Numbers, I need 2 and I've got 5. Transport is in this box and I need 1 and I've got 1 there. There's the transport, so that's worked well. Cards and math. Just having a look for my box, here it is. Now it says 4 spaces, okay. I could perhaps use those. So just check what the circle is. 3, 1, 2, 3. So that will be fine, and I can use this for, oh no, they're crosses. Oh, wrong box. Cards, okay. 4. So what squares do I have? 4. So that's fine, and I can use this for cards. So that's fine. Letters. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. So all I need to do is have a look at the tech and change 3 of them to items. Okay, let's have a little look. Right, so what I need to do now is get out those numbers of diamonds and pop them in boxes. Now, what I'm thinking of with the Tic Tac boxes, this is going to be quite easy because I can swap them around without disturbing the ones I've already got. However, with these ones, they are all in number order, but when I add the new ones in, I'm not necessarily going to put them in number order because I don't want to swap all of these around. I'll just add them in. I'm sure as I do the diamond painting, my hand will just go to it. You know, I won't think of the number, I'll think of the symbol. Okay, so I've got the list of the numbers I'm going to need. I've got starting with 152, and I just thought, oh, I wonder if the colours are actually the same, because you know sometimes you get different colour batches. So I wanted to double check that first. I think they do look very, very similar. So I think I'm going to be able to add those straight into my storage. Just trying to find a tray. So I'm just doing a little test. I don't think I'll do this for everyone. I'm just wanting to make sure at the start. Yeah, they're perfectly fine. So I'll be able to add those. Do you know, that's quite staticky. I don't think I'll do it on there. I may well have to add some of my dryer sheets into these baggies. If you remember, that's what happened last time. These are just not happy to go in. So they're okay in there. I will put those aside. Now, do you remember my system? If I've got spares in another bag, I circle the number, and that tells me I've got them somewhere else. So 152 done. 154 is in one of these. So let's see how close a match they are. 154. As I say, I'm not going to do this with every number. I just want to get a good idea. Yep, they're fine as well. Again, they feel quite staticky. So I won't force those in. I will keep those separate. So as you can see, I am mixing the old diamonds with the new ones. Instead of removing the old ones, I just think that, you know, if they're the same colour, then it's fine. We don't need to create extra work for ourselves, do we? Again, I'll circle that because we've got a few more left. And I'm going to continue in that way all the way down the list and adding in the new one. Okay, here we are, up to 164. Got my little baggie. Take them all out. You know, there's not many of these at all. All of the packs that I've done so far have been quite small little colours. You know, they've not been big. They've not been full, these bags. So does that mean there's going to be loads of confetti? I think so. Right, 164. Now, because it's going to be in a Tic Tac box in my items, I just need to cut the sticker down a little bit because I like it to sit nice on my Tic Tac box. So just cut it down. Oh no, I think I've cut through the other sheet. Let's hope I already had that number. Uh-oh. Ah. Okay. Oh, fingers crossed that I haven't messed that up. Oh no, it's a radio. Phew, I already have one of those. Thank you. Oh, what a silly thing to do. What a silly thing to do. Let's put that sheet somewhere else until I'm there. Oh my goodness me. That's because I'm excited and I want to get it done. Just slow down and take more care. I would have properly cried, I think. And that wouldn't have been very pleasant to watch, would it? I laugh instead. I laugh instead. Right, got a nice place there. So we've done 164. Next is 165, which is in the lines box. Let's see where this might end up. So 165. Oh, I think it could go there, right at the first. Right at the first block. Nice yellow, look at that. Ooh. It's like a primrose yellow, I think. It's not quite a buttercup. Primrose, beautiful. I don't know what the official name will be. I should have looked on the list instead of making my own up. Right, just get these four out. This one's quite dusty, this bag. Can you see all the little bits in it? That's not very usual from Diamond Painting Deutschland, so interesting. Right, let's pop these in here. And this time, because it's a wider lid, I don't cut down the stickers, you'll be pleased to know. No more calamities. Peel it off, stick it on. There we are, 165 done. And I'll continue on now so that you don't have to watch every number being put in. Right, I have now finished kitting up, hooray! And to quickly show you, the tic-tac boxes obviously worked really well because you can change them about without a problem. So most of these are in number order. I have separated the items and the body parts slightly by creating empty boxes here, and I wanted to put some together. So I wanted to have the feet together, the hands together, and these two bodies together. I think these two might throw me a little bit to start off with because they are quite similar. So I wanted to put them together in the box to make sure I didn't pick up the wrong one as I get started with the new picture. The second tic-tac box has the arrows in, and again I was able to create a divide between the arrows and the nature, and then I've started the transport a bit lower down to try and create a little bit of separation there as well. So they worked really well. Going to the cases that have fixed, as you can see, these ones are now quite gappy. I did consider maybe changing that one and including it over here so I had a row, but I'll see how I get on with it. It's not too bad. So I've got all of the lines in here and the question marks that I had exactly the same as last time. In this box I've got circles. I was able to keep a separation between the circles and the crosses. And as I mentioned, I just had to add a couple of new ones in. This one ended up being in the right place anyway, numerically. This one hasn't. But because I go by symbols, it doesn't really faze me. With, which one's next? Let's do the tech. Obviously the tech was a busy one because I really would have liked to have 3 more in here to be able to put some of the other items in as tech, but I've still got my moons, which I had last time, and then all of the tech in with the new numbers. And again, it might be slightly out of order, but it doesn't matter when you're looking at the pictures. With my letters, I've now got more letters than what it said across the top, but I haven't bothered changing those, that's fine. So I've now got 5 rows of letters, 1 of the U shapes and 1 of the numbers. So that worked okay. And lastly, squares and cards. And again, last time I had a spare column here, which I've had to use this time with adding all of these in. So I've now got squares with a few gaps and cards maths on this side. But because I've managed to separate them a little bit with the colouring, it does create a bit of a divide. So there we are. I am now kitted up, ready to start. It did take me, I think it was nearly 5 hours, which was a lot longer than I first thought when I heard that the symbols would be the same. But I think it's with removing all of the numbers that are not being used and then also topping up all of my colours, which I guess I didn't have to do, but I like to create a nice start ready. So I have topped up every single colour and added the new ones in. So that's why it's taken me probably longer than what I thought. As I've been able to top up all of my colours, I've now got a pack of leftovers and my list, which has the circles around every colour that is in this pack, ready to use as I go along, to refer to if I'm getting a bit low on colours, to know if I've got any spares. So that's what I use this list for. Also, if I need a little bit of a prompt where I've put the new symbols, it also tells me on this list. So I do think my original kitting up worked well for me. I'm sticking to that and just adding these items in to my already set up system. I did contact Diamond Painting Deutschland to ask whether all of their kits had the same symbols relating to the numbers. They have got back to me and confirmed that when the diamond paintings are produced by Diamond Painting Deutschland, they do keep the symbols and numbers the same, which is absolutely fantastic. So when you go onto their website, you can check if it is made by them, and then you'll know that the symbols will relate. So for example, for Schimschimmel designs, they will. So I could have perhaps bought another artist's designs and still being able to use this system. And I may well do that in the future if I see a picture that I particularly like. So that is great news. Well done, Diamond Painting Deutschland. I really take my hat off to you for that. It does make it easier. I know I've still spent ages doing it, but it was a lot simpler this time around. So I think if you get a system that works for you, and you stick with it, then it will work for you in the future with other designs as well. Oh, right, okay, the file has arrived, hurrah. I will show you more of this in a moment. It did arrive in a nice protective cover with a little instruction booklet, and the little booklet is very basic, different languages, and basically tells you that it's made for trading cards, and it's got 30 inner pages, and each page can hold 18 cards, which means holding 540 cards in total. Now, we're not using them for cards, we're using them for the little baggies. So I'll show you a bit more of the file first. Just move these out of the way. Because one thing I was really impressed with that I definitely want to show you is on the inside here, these are top-loading sleeves. You can get side ones as well, but I think the top-loading ones will be better if you want to put your folder upright when you store it. Now, if you look closely on each of these pages, it's quite hard when they're transparent. I've got a pocket here, and I've got a pocket the other side, and they are separated by sort of a plastic inner. I hope you can see that on camera okay. So you've got the front pocket, the middle protectiveness, and then another pocket on the other side, and that means that the bags are not going to be sat on top of each other. They are separate within one pocket. I hope that makes sense. This binder with the 30 pages cost me £13.99 from Amazon, and I'm really impressed. It feels really good quality. They're nice and thick, and that looks like the company name there. All right, so next thing I want to show you before I start inserting all of the little baggies is my folder. Now this is a folder that I've had ever since I started diamond painting, and when I open it out you can see I printed off the DMC thread codes. Now I know that we don't use all of these on diamond painting, but I thought if I ever did cross stitch I would want this chart to be complete. So I printed them all off, including like the variation type threads. So what I do is, I'll go to the next page where there's more detail. Every time I have leftovers, I write alongside whether they are square diamonds, that's the SQ, or round diamonds, which I use a 0. And what I've done now is I have put down the side in red D for Diamond Painting Deutschland. So I know every colour that I've got now from the Libra picture and my new picture. I've plotted them all out in my book. I am going to use the folder I've just shown you with the pockets in for my absolute top quality diamonds, because they are so good. I want to keep them separate from my usual storage. So that is what my plan is. So I'm going to use this book. I am going to, because some numbers jump, especially when you get up to the 3 0 numbers, they're not all included in the book. So there we've got a gap. 3033 jumps to 3041. So I don't want to have a pocket in my new folder for something that doesn't exist. So that's what I'm using this folder for. I thought you might like to see that. You might find it useful to have one of those made up for yourselves. I'm going to start off with the ecru, the blank, the snow white and the white. Now I have none of those with the red D next to it. So when I go to this folder, I'm going to skip those 4 first pockets, just in case I eventually end up with those. So my next one with a D next to it is 151. So I'll need to skip 150 as well, because I don't have any of those. So I'm not using the first 5 pockets. I'm going to 151 on the 6th pocket. I hope that makes sense to you. I just want to leave enough gaps to make sure if I get those numbers, I can add them into this folder without having to move everything else. So this is the 6th pocket in my file, and I'm adding number 151 in. And as you can see, they fit really, really well. Might just need a little bit of manipulation to get them down there. Try and get them straight if I can. There. So 151 is in place. Next, 152 I'm using at the moment. So I'll put the blank baggie in, ready to put my leftovers in here once I've finished my beautiful crystal enchantment. So again, a bit of manipulation to get them in nice and straight. Okay, next page in my book. Let's have a look. we've got 153. Again, I think I'm using 153, but I don't have the baggie for 153. Must have misplaced that, so I'll leave a gap. Oh no, I don't have one. I don't have one, so I'm leaving a gap and going on to 154. Again, I've got an empty one. Pop that in. I think this is probably going to take the longest bit, getting the baggies in the folder. Right, turn it over. So we're on to page 2 now of the card folder. 155, I've got spares of. So they're going to sit. Now this is the beauty of having that divider between the bags, because it's not going to pull the other bag out on the other side. I'll show you as we get down to where the first bags have already been put in. You might think this looks really fiddly, but I think once they're in straight, they'll be fine. Yeah, 156, yep, spare bag. 157, got some spares. This is where I wanted to flatten out my diamonds as much as possible so that I don't get any bulk in this folder. At this point I should thank that person who put this idea onto the Diamond Painting Facebook page. It was a great idea and perfect for this storage. Okay. Here is an example of what I mean about having that divider, because when I go in here I am not disrupting that bag at all. It means when I slip this in, the other bag won't be affected. If we didn't have that middle storage bit and I was pushing this down, that bag would have a problem. And that is why I'm so impressed. Okay, so they're now sat flush. 159, and I'll just continue on until all of the numbers are in. I'll film a bit of it and speed it up for you so you're not sat watching the whole process. So as I've been filling up these pockets, I realised that it might be easier to do the bags using a card, because the cards are made to slot into here. This is just an old play card of my son's out of a game that we used to play. Because they're made to go in here and slip in, I thought, okay, what happens if with the empty bags you pop the card in, slip it to the bottom, open up the pocket, slide it in, hold the card and pull the card out again. And I'm finding that that is making it quicker than trying to straighten up the plastic baggies in the pockets. So continue on again. There we go. 612, and I'm also finding, because there are so many number gaps in the DMC numbers, this folder is really helping me a lot, so to know where the gaps are, so that I'm not using up pockets that I'll never need to use. So that's great. I'll show you exactly that in a moment. We're up to 613. Now you may think this looks quite fiddly, but it is definitely quicker than trying to straighten them up as we go along. So 613, next is 632. So I can see that because I've got the listings here. So I'm not having to leave 9 gaps. I know that I'll never have 614, 15, 16, etc. So I really do recommend, having this list of numbers, even if you don't have the colours to go with. If you had the list of numbers, then that would be a big help anyway. 632, 640 is next. And if the little baggies do have diamonds in, I don't do this because I want to make sure the baggies are completely sealed before they go into here, because we don't want any of those horrible accidents where the diamonds will get mixed up together because they've fallen out. So if we get to a number that have diamonds in, I will show you what I do in that scenario. So I'm pleased with this, it's really working well. 642, what's next? 644. So when they have the diamonds in and I want to make sure it's sealed, I'm putting the bag on top of the card. It doesn't work as well, but they definitely slip in better than without. So I'm just easing it in and trying to straighten it as I go along. And it just creates a little bit of a slip for the bag to sit on. I'll do another one. So just pop it on the top with a bit of the card at the bottom to help the slip. Pop it in the pocket and just ease down there. Okay. Now, as I'm filling in this album, it's made me remember when I was a child and used to get those collection sort of albums of stickers or cards, and you'd have to buy the separate packs and see what your luck was in finding the ones that you hadn't already got. It's reminding me of that, and it's making me think, because especially this page, look, I've only got 2 in these pockets of 9. In fact, 2 in the pocket of 18, because I've none on the back either. So it's kind of making me think, I really need to buy another kit to try and fill in the gaps. Isn't that naughty? I'm enabling myself to spend more to try and fill my gaps in my spares. It just made me laugh. I wonder if you feel the same when you're trying to get a collection together. We don't want any gaps, do we? It's a good excuse to buy another kit, don't you think? Do you agree? Okay, here's the file complete. So I've gone through all of the numbers, put in the baggies that I have, and what I think, oh, I've got some spare sleeves at the back, which is great. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 lots that are not used. So if I have more leftovers than the baggies will take in one pocket, I can use these at the back, or I can slot them in wherever I want. So that's great that I've got some spare ones. I think the translucent pages are fine. You can, however, when there's a gap, like for example this page has a gap, you can see the number through for the page after. In fact, that's even 2 pages through. I think if I was buying this file again, they do a black version, which I didn't go for because I thought it would be nice to see the colours with the translucent. But thinking about it, if I'd got the black version, you wouldn't be able to see the other numbers through, which might work better. The black version is £14.99, so it's an extra £1. But I think I would go black next time. Anyway, that choice would be up to you if you want to do this storage system as well. I'm really pleased with it. I think it makes it really clear. It's going to make the kitting down a lot easier next time because I won't be searching through all the bags. And it also means when I want to make my own chart or I need some spares, they're all to hand, really easy to find. So I'm really pleased with it. And if you decide to have a go at that yourself, then I hope it works for you too. I hope you've enjoyed this video showing moving from one Josephine Wall kit to another, and I'm now ready to start my picture. Yay! I'll see you then. Bye.